Hey, it's Chris with Life 180, and for this video, I want to talk to you about IUL's reduction in cap rates and really expose something and just bring information to light that I think everybody needs to hear. Now, here's the deal. Everybody hears me talk about the reduction in cap rates being a real threat to people who buy IULs. I spoke to somebody the other day who is somebody who I consider probably one of the foremost knowledgeable people when it comes to IULs in the industry. He actually owns an IMO, and he himself has a big problem with the way that people sell IULs because they illustrate them at 6.5%, 7%, and people going according to the AG 48 regulation that basically says, actuaries have said based on risk and markets and all this stuff, you can go at 6.5%, and it allows people to illustrate them at that rate. Well, in my opinion, that's a really dangerous thing to do. You have people out there that are doing a lot of crazy things and have a lot of pretty irresponsible assumptions when it comes to the market. Now, I've also talked about the fact that fees and costs and everything in policies can go up. The reality behind that is they can. Insurance companies have the flexibility to increase your fees and charges. Most companies have never had to do that. And honestly, the easiest lever inside of an IUL policy that a life insurance company can move and does move and will move, and they do it every single time, is the cap rate. Now, here's what you need to understand about the cap rate. I'm going to compare it to a whole life policy, and so you can understand the difference between the two policies. A whole life insurance company, they do the same thing. Whole life policies change as well, so it's important to understand that. However, what you'll find is whole life policies tend to be in place longer. If a life insurance company creates a product, like a whole life insurance product, like a generation 1 whole life insurance product, that product is going to stay for a lot longer, and it's got its guarantees. It's more fixed. It's not movable. It's a unilateral contract. They cannot change anything on you. The only person who has the ability to change the contract with a whole life policy is you, if you decide for some reason you don't want to pay it, or you want to cancel it, or take money out of it or something of that nature. You are the one in control. You get all the benefits and the guarantees, and the risks fall on the insurance company. With an IUL, it's important to understand that those variables are not the case. They can change the costs, they can change the cap rates, they can change the internal returns, they can move levers around no matter what. Now, here's the deal. With a whole life policy, even if they change and say, okay, we're going to create generation 2 whole life, right? Then they create a new one, and maybe they create different benefits, maybe they create different marketing around it because it solves a new need that got created in the market based on the economy or something of that nature. All that is fine and good. They do the same thing with whole life as they do with IUL, but here's the problem. With IUL companies, what they do is they create a new product, but what's, to me, a big hazard in the industry is, let's say generation 1 of the IUL had a 13% cap. Generation 2, let's say, has a 12% cap. So because the market environment was in a low interest rate environment, and they say, we have to reduce caps. The insurance company, from an outside perspective and from a marketing perspective for the salesperson, for the life insurance sales agent, they look at the cap rate and they go, oh, well, it's 13 to 12, that's not that big of a reduction. But here's the deal. You don't know this, but life insurance companies are not required or obligated to disclose what the cap rates are on older generation products. Think about that. That, to me, is a massive moral hazard as far as everything goes. Massive conflict, right? So when you buy generation 1, what happens is they have those 13% cap rates. They use marketing dollars to support those 13% cap rates. When they launch generation 2, they go, oh, we can only afford a 12% cap rate. But what happens is they pay for the 12% cap rate, and they buy with their marketing dollars, and they reduce the cap rate inside of the generation 1 product. There were products at a company that I used to sell that would start off at 13.5% to 16%, and right now, if you run an in-force illustration, it's at 6.5%, right? That's insanity if you think about it. And the bottom line is that company, the insurance company, right now is able to market products that have 11.5% cap rates on new products, but the older products, the cap rates get reduced. They don't have to disclose that anywhere. And the reality is, because the products that they're selling now still have decent cap rates, nobody's able to see it. I don't even think a lot of the agents that are selling this stuff realize this. So it's really important to understand the movement of cap rates, how they get manipulated. Every single time a company creates a new IUL product, you'll find that while a whole life product typically lasts between 5 and 10 years before a new product is made, and when the new product is made, it's not that much different, maybe a little nuanced different. IULs change, they change pretty drastically, and they change them every 3 to 5 years typically, right? Why do they do that? Because they say, okay, we had a good run with this, we need to drop the cap rates there, let's create a new product, we'll have a decent cap rate, but even if this is whatever, it's, you know, even if the new one, we can't afford that, we're gonna reduce cap rates over here, and that'll feed this new product. And from a marketing, all IUL, from a marketing perspective, all IULs need new money coming through them. They just do. It's not a Ponzi scheme, but it kind of functions like a Ponzi scheme. It's if every IUL company stopped marketing new products and just relied on one solid product, you would see cap rates drop like a rock. And if you did, I would encourage anybody who's out there to watch this, that's watching this, go find a policy that you had 6 years ago or from a previous generation product and see what your cap rates have dropped to. It's pretty astounding. And I know agents are gonna sit here and they're gonna respond and they're gonna say that's not the way it works, that's not how it happens. I guarantee you it is. I've seen it with hundreds of policies. I literally have been talking to people who are the greatest leaders in this industry, and this is absolutely what happens, even with the best companies. This is one of the reasons that they create new products. You know, you get your Omaha, Mutual of Omaha companies, your nationwide companies who create these products that look really sexy on paper, that look really good, and guess what? Those are gonna be good, and they're gonna be good for a couple of years. The people who had the generation before you are gonna suffer for it. And then when the next product comes out, your product, as much as it looks awesome right now, is going to suffer for it. And you know what? There's a reason they build in, as the insurance company, the flexibility and the ability to manipulate the levers that create profitability, that create performance inside of the IUL policy that you're thinking about buying or that you're selling right now. So really understand that, think about it. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, go below. If you found this video valuable, go ahead and hit that like button. I'd love to engage with you. Good or bad, I'm sure I'm gonna have some fun comments and conversations on this one, but go ahead and engage. I'd love to engage with you. If you haven't already, if you found value in this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. That way you get notified every single time I make a new video. Love creating content, love engaging with people. If you have any questions about anything to do with IULs, anything to do about whole life, the and asset, how to prepare for your finances in any way, leveraging whole life as an asset, reach out. I'm happy to help you. Make a comment below. I will make a video, you know, to answer questions. A lot of times I do that for people all the time. So anyway, hope that helps. I hope you have a blessed, inspirational day, and we'll talk soon. Take care.